Hi everyone, welcome. I have on my lap a basket filled with things that are overlooked at Ulta. How do I know they're overlooked? Well, I asked on Twitter and you guys told me. Y'all were talking about so many different brands that you feel like don't get enough attention or just don't generate a lot of buzz in the social media beauty community. I'm always out to find a hidden gem, so I thought I would get some of these things, try them out. Thank you so much if you shared your input with me when I asked that question on Twitter. I wasn't able to try every single brand that was suggested, but I could totally see there being a round 2 of this in the future, maybe 3 or 4. Also, it's dark, it's raining outside, it's all cozy. Got my coffee, we're gonna start on the video. Should I give you guys a brief preview of what some of the things were that were mentioned? Pacifica was a huge one. Also, the Ulta house brand, we'll call it. I got this box called Meet Our Faves. And I thought this would be a great way to sample some of the things that are maybe what they see as their best products. So we'll work some of those into the look. Japanesque, Soap and Glory, Essence. So yeah, this is gonna be fun. I love videos like this. We're full facing it. I think I got everything I would need here, except I forgot a brow thing. And I mentioned Essence. And that one I was kind of like, you know, I feel like maybe just recently here Essence has launched quite a few different things. So they're definitely on my radar. I feel like I've talked about them quite a bit, but I do think it's like bits and pieces of their line. You know, it'll be like this good mascara over here, this really good lip liner, but they now have a foundation, and this was under the new section of Ulta's site, so I thought, let's try that. Let's test a new foundation. Let's try a brand that some people feel is overlooked, and we'll lump it all into one. Also, speaking of Essence, it's not going to be in this video, but they have a new kind of customized palette thing that I think I'm going to get into in another video soon. But anyway, this is Fresh and Fit Awake Makeup. It says Healthy Glow with Vitamin Complex and Cranberry Water. I have it in 20 Fresh Nude. They talk about having a breathable texture with wake up effect. I need some wake up effect today. Medium to high coverage without mask effect. We want the wake up effect, we don't want the mask effect. And this really is packaged nicely. It has a glass bottle, little cap here. I can't remember exactly what I paid for it, but I'm about certain it was less than $10. So we're gonna pump out a full pump. I realized this yesterday when I was using it. A full pump of this gives you quite a lot, like way too much. So you might go for like half a pump. I'm gonna just start blending this in. Roughly. I like to patch it on first. Somebody asked me, why don't you just put that on your hand and pick it up with your beauty blender from your hand and kind of use your hand as a palette. But I always feel like my hand absorbs some product that way. So here I can get it straight to my face, and I know that it's kind of getting right where it needs to go. This is my NYX sponge that I talk about often. I'm just gonna bop this into my skin, or bounce it in is what I usually say. Yesterday I used a brush with this. I thought a brush did fine. I just kind of wanted to see if there was a notable difference. It's just a really natural looking foundation. I wouldn't say it's anywhere close to high coverage like they call it. They say medium to high coverage. I would say maybe I can get a medium out of this when I build it a little bit. Now, I've been really making a point to moisturize well under my makeup, and I think it makes a difference for just the appearance of fine lines. When you're teetering on the edge with real fine lines, like I'm not talking deep wrinkles, but evidence of dehydration on the skin basically, I feel like you can do a lot for that under your makeup with really good pre-makeup hydration. So what I'm getting at here was the other day when I was wearing this, I knew my skin was really hydrated. It almost felt kind of supple to the touch. I expected to look up close at this foundation and see some major wear as a result of that, but actually, it looked very nice. It looked very even. I didn't even see it wearing off of my nose, and nothing looked patchy or oily. But the coverage is really, really light, in my opinion. Like, I just put that on, and I feel like I'm getting the result of maybe a tinted moisturizer. So I'm gonna add a little more. And maybe it's that I'm getting even lighter coverage than I got yesterday because I'm using a sponge instead of a brush. But I want to hit kind of like my redness and darkness treble spots here a little harder and just see how it goes. Did I say what shade I have in this? Fresh Nude. It's an alright foundation for me, guys. It's not moving mountains, but it's definitely not the worst thing I've tried either. For a concealer, I got something from the Ulta Beauty brand. This did not come out of that little box, by the way. This is the Full Coverage Liquid Concealer Waterproof. I got it in Light Cool. Don't you kind of feel like every brand's trying to bust out their best, like, liquidy doe foot concealer, you know, kind of competing with Shape Tape? So I thought, we'll see how this goes. I'm gonna really attempt to hit that inner corner darkness here. I'll blend that out and then we'll try to get some other areas of the face. Blending it out just with a brush yesterday, I thought the end result looked a little heavy, but the Beauty Blender is actually looking pretty good. Only trouble is the coverage. Like, I'm really seeing it in person. I can see a lot, and you can probably see that too, yeah. A lot of darkness still there. So I'm gonna need to build just a little more. I don't wanna go too far here. We may just have to take what we get, but I'm just gonna see if I can get a little more out of this. A little better. Slightly. So as you can see, 2 layers of the product and I can still see some darkness through it. Now, granted, I realize that's not a corrector, but if it was anywhere close to the coverage Shape Tape gives, that wouldn't be there. Because Shape Tape really gives me pretty good coverage. So I don't know, maybe that's not the best concealer that Ulta has. Maybe they have something else that's better, but that one's not really working for me. I have a pretty little powder here from Pacifica. Their packaging is so cute. And this is called the Mineral Neutralizing Mattifier with cherry and minerals, 100% vegan, cruelty-free. I have shade 1 in this. It has a pretty soft texture to it. I thought it could just be a nice little setting powder, so I'm gonna use it with my e.l.f. small tapered brush. And I'm gonna just gently, gently set that under eye area there. And also set the T-zone, which maybe I could credit this powder with some of the staying power. Ooh, I forgot to get that zit down there with my concealer. Oops, rewind, sorry. Now you guys said you wanted to see more from Soap & Glory, so I have a little compact here. It's called the Mighty Contourer, and my shade is Fair's Fair. And it's just really small, like it's not even as big as a typical powder compact. You've got cream bronzer right here on top, and then underneath there's this little like highlighter and then also a blush. Now the highlight is more, it's got a slight yellow tone to it, and it's just kind of like a cream brightener. It's not like a shimmery highlight. So what I'm gonna do with this is take my synthetic brush, this one's from Tarte, and I'm gonna work this kind of as a contour. I really liked the way this applied the other day. Cream products like this can be so touchy. It needs to blend easily on the skin with just light pressure, you know? This really is very easy to use. The color of it isn't like especially cool though, so if you really rely on a borderline gray looking cool tone contour, this might not do it for you, and this is the fair option that I got. See, I think that gives a very natural effect, and there's no like shimmer in the cream either. So next, I'm gonna go to this blush here. It's kind of a nice corally pink. Dip into that with my e.l.f. small stipple brush. See how that blends in very nicely as well. Applying very light pressure. Super fresh. I mean, I tell you, if you're struggling with your concealer someday, or you just don't feel like you got your zit covered up effectively or whatever, you pop some blush on. It can really make you at least feel better about things. Beautiful tone, and like I said, I'm not really gonna use that highlight today. I think when I was more in the coverage phases of the look, that might have helped, or maybe, I don't know. We could just see, like, I can just put a little bit there. Not too bad. I mean, like I said, it would have been most effective, I think, if I put it on right after the concealer. But now for a highlight, I grabbed this out of the Meet Our Faves box from the Ulta Beauty line. It's called Illuminator Sheer Radiant Finish, and I have this in the shade Pink Diamond. And when you swatch it out, it does kind of have this soft peach look that you see in the pan, but kind of a golden sheen or shimmer to it. But it looks like it's going to be fairly subtle. So I'm going to go in with my Highlight and Glow brush from Moda, tap off a little excess. It's down here on the top of the cheeks. Can you see that? I think it's looking really nice from a distance. I'm kind of making an effort not to get too much on my skin. But I look up close, and I was kind of noticing this the other day. That gold sheen in it is pretty strong, and it's not really doing great things for any little texture as you kind of squint your face up, you know, little lines you can start to see right in here. It's not doing great things for that area. Looking a little more metallic than you might think. One last powder type thing here that I need to put on because I need you guys to see what's happening here. This is from Japanesque. It's the Kumadori Luminescent Finishing Powder. Okay, luminescent was in the name. I assumed there was gonna be some luminosity to this, and I thought I can just use this as a little light finishing touch after my look. It's a really nice container here, nice lid with a mirror, and then here's your sifter. As I immediately look at the sifter, I can see the little sparkle. It feels like one of those really silky, like, you know, Makeup Forever Ultra HD type powders, except within it is a little bit of sparkle. Gave this its first shot yesterday, thought, oh dear, I think this is a bit much. I'm gonna try it today. I'm gonna try it with a softer hand and we'll just see how it goes. I've got this little brush from Sephora. It's called the Pro Mini Flawless Light Powder Brush, and it's so cute. It's got a nice little shape there. So I'm gonna dip in, tap off the excess till the cows come home, and then I'm just gonna lightly graze this across the skin. Do you see any additional sheen coming off of that? You know, on top of what we had there from the highlight. I can see it. Okay, let's get a little bit more for the other side. Just kind of graze it across. Honestly, you guys, I don't think this is as bad as I thought it was. I think I just tried to, like, glom it on a bit much the other day, but it actually looks kind of pretty. Here's the kicker on this powder. This was $32, and for just for a little light sheen on the skin, it's not really like knocking my socks off here, and I do know that I can get a nice little finishing touch sheen from something like my Milani Prep Set and Glow powder, which is a nice little pressed powder. This is kind of messy. It kind of is so lightweight, like you just tap into it, stuff's going everywhere. I just don't think it's worth that price. We've had some hits and misses here today, have we not? Now we're gonna move on to the Happy Essence. I need some Happy Essence right now. It's the Hydro Mist Refresh and Fight the Look of Fatigue. Has coconut water, green tea, and berry happy extract. Is that really a thing, Pacifica? Okay, it's for all skin types. It's 100% vegan, cruelty free. Again, Pacifica came up many times when I was asking for overlooked brands. Pacifica also makes this and a couple of lip balms, that I need to pop on here in a second. It also says you can spray on a foundation brush or a sponge to use with foundation for extra moisture. It says to shake it up. And this does have, I think, a very nice scent to it. Like, yeah, that'll make me happy. I like that. Am I happier now than when I first put this on? My skin is certainly starting to look a little more refreshed. I think this is one of those sprays that really adds the look of moisture immediately. You know how Urban Decay All Nighter or De-Slick, they're more of like, yeah, they set things, but they don't really give your skin that dewy look. I'm seeing some dewy look here. I'm kind of familiarizing myself with the sprayer because it sort of goes a little higher than you might think. But I'm kind of trying to hit that under eye area. Damp Beauty Blender might decake my under eye just a little bit too. Here we go. I'll give a couple spritzes to the Beauty Blender. Go to town, Beauty Blender. Yeah, that helped a lot. I mentioned a couple of lip balms from Pacifica, and how cute are these? Let me zoom you in. And these lip balms smell so good. They're so nice. This greenish one is Hawaiian Banana, and then I got Rainbow Watermelon. I think I'm gonna do one on one lip, one on the other, because I'm just wild and crazy like that. The banana right there, nice scent, nice sweetness to it, but not overly sweet. And then the watermelon. I think the watermelon might be my fave. But you mush them together. Nice kind of lip primer texture to that. You know, it's not too slick. It's not as slippery as a lip smacker or some other balms you might have tried. And I feel like they're really trying, Pacifica is, with the packaging. Like everything that I have that I got from this brand is so cute. And I have another thing from this line. It's kind of like a multi-palette. I actually thought I would throw this into my look. Now this is a rediscovered thing from my collection, and I remember talking about it quite a while back when I was mentioning all-in-one like multitasking palettes, but this is the Pacifica Natural Minerals. It's called the Solar Complete Color palette. You've got like kind of a rusty colored blush, a bronzer. There's some creamy highlights up top and some eyeshadows, and I thought those shadows shadows might be fun to use in my look today because I recall really enjoying their texture. So as I mentioned, I don't have a brow product, so I'm gonna do my brows, put on some eye primer as well, and then we'll jump into that palette. Now we're ready for the eyes, and something to note about all of these shadows is that they do all have some element of shimmer to them. So that doesn't mean you can't use them like in your crease where I'm gonna put this bronzy color, but it's just something to be aware of if you really enjoy matte shades. These all have a little bit of shimmer, but when you sheer them out, it's not necessarily a pronounced thing. Like, look what's happening in my crease here with that bronze. The important thing, I think, that can either make shadows like this work or not work in the manner I'm using them is texture. You know, if it's gonna be something that is just flat out gonna only really look good if it's applied in a very packed on, you know, build it up to a full-on metallic look. If that's the only way it's gonna look good, then they're not quite as versatile. But this kind of color, the texture is really nice. It can look kind of deeper in the crease. It can be sheared out sort of around the crease. And you might not even know that that was a shimmery shade that I just put there. I mean, you look up really closely, you can see a little bit of shimmer, but it's not super pronounced. Then I will use this light color. This is super pretty. Right up here is a highlight. There's a little pink in this shade. And then I think I want to do some peach on my lid. You'll notice there's a nice softness to these shadows. You do want to tap off some excess, I think, when you're working with it. But that being said, they build up easily with very little effort. And I think I'll go back to the light color right here. There's that little bit of pink in this color is very eye-opening. I'm gonna do a touch of the dark brown just in my outer corner here, just so you can get an idea of what kind of look you would get out of this. See, what I just put here in the outer corner was done with very little product on my brush. So this dark shade definitely has some potential, and I think it's less shimmery actually than some of the others. Like once it shears a little bit on your skin, you see very little pearlescent quality to this color. I am gonna do a little light liner on my lower inner rim, my Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow Highlight. Great for that, not a new product, but just works great there. And yes, I'm gonna use some of that blue, why not? It's kind of a blue with a little golden sheen to it. It's a gentle color though. Like, can you see that? It's soft. We're gonna just get this all up here on the lower lash line. Would probably make more of a statement if you patted it all over your lid, but I'm just going for a small bit of color today. If you've never tried Pacifica eyeshadows before, I think my bottom line coming away from this is that you will probably be pretty surprised at the quality. There's a nice softness to them. They're easy to work with. They blend one into the next very easily. And even if you end up with some shimmery shades, they're not so like off the wall or, you know, have some funky texture to them to where they couldn't be sheared out in your crease, because they definitely can. Now I got a new black liquid liner, guys. It's from Essence and it's called the Super Last Eyeliner in Matte Black. I've already used this and I do have complaints. I'm sorry to say that while this looked really good after application, I am one who, you know, I definitely start my liquid liner way in here, and midway through the day, the last time I wore this, and it wasn't an emotional day, I wasn't crying or anything, but just regular wear, it transferred down here onto my lower lash line, like in that inner corner, onto my lower lash line visibly, like it looked like something was wrong with the look, you know? So that's kind of upsetting. This is not gonna be something that I will wear like day to day. Also, I thought it had a brush, but it has a long felt tip. It's still pretty easy to apply, but you know, I'm truly just putting this on for the sake of this video, because anything that's gonna transfer down onto my lower lash line from my upper lash line is just a no-go for me. But the intensity is fabulous. Look at how black that is, and it really is matte. Yes, that was more of a wing than any of us were expecting. It's juicy, okay? It's a brand new liner. Taking a little more dark brown also, just because I always think this helps my wing kind of blend in with the full look. The mascara I'm going to put on is the Maximum Lashes Defining and Lengthening Mascara from Ulta. So this came out of that box, and the brush is so incredibly spiky. Like, see what I mean? There's a lot of length coming off of the wand there in terms of the bristles. But this did give me some surprising definition and length. Like, I was really kind of shocked. It just takes a little getting used to because the brush is kind of big and those bristles come out so far, but they do kind of function to comb through things rather nicely. Like there, I just poked myself in the eye. See, it's pretty good length. It's just kind of bunglesome to use, you know? It's kind of a pain in the butt, but in the end, you still do kind of like it. And this wore well on me too. Like yesterday, it didn't flake off. I don't know if I'm ready to put it on my lower lashes. In fact, I think it would be kind of hard because of just the size of the brush. I'm used to something so compact. That Clump Crusher water resistant brush is so small. For me, I don't think it's gonna replace Lash Paradise that I love on my upper lashes, but I don't think it's a dud. It just takes a little getting used to. On my lower lashes, by the way, I'm going to put on some of the Clump Crusher I was mentioning. Got a fresh tube of this. It makes that bluish shadow look even prettier to have just a little fan of lashes in front of it. Now, I got some lashes when I made these purchases from Ulta. I got some of the new Kiss blowout lashes, not really because I thought they were especially overlooked at Ulta, but just because I wanted to try them. And so this is what that style looks like. They're pretty fluffy and very long left to right. I've worn them once before and had to trim them down quite a bit, but I'm gonna pop those on and then we'll play with some different lip products. There's the finished eye look with the lashes, very fluttery and nice and full. And now I've got several different lip products to try here. There was a gloss that came in the Ulta box. I also got 2 different glosses from Essence, 2 lip liners from Essence, and a lip plumper from Soap & Glory, the Sexy Mother Pucker one. Now, I was told in my lip gloss video that I needed to try that, and for this video, I was also told to try that one. I think y'all just want to hear me say Sexy Mother Pucker. So we're just going to try on a few of these, shall we? I'm going to use the Ulta Beauty Shiny Sheer Lip Gloss first. So this was in that Meet Our Faves set, and this color is called Blush. And it has a little bit of shimmer to it, like maybe a little blue tone shimmer, and the applicator is teensy. It's a teeny tiny little brush. So we're gonna put it on. It feels pretty thin. Smells kind of like, I don't know, candy, cotton candy. It's odd how small this brush tip is. It's nice and comfortable, but as you can see, it's completely sheer. Like there is no real color to this. As it's sitting on my lips a little bit more, it's feeling less thin and kind of moisturizing. Like, I don't hate that gloss. Hold on. Am I getting a little, just a little hint of a tingle off of this? I think I am. That's odd. I don't know if that's irritation, because this did not claim to be a plumper. It's just doing a little something there. Now I'm confused. We're gonna take this one off. Let's try the Sexy Mother Pupper. The Sexy Mother Pupper, or Mother... Sexy Mother Pucker gloss here. This is in the shade Rose and Shine, and it seems just like a creamy color there, like no shimmer. And when I put this on the other day, I thought, man, I wish it was more opaque. Are there any shades in this line that are really like full colored glosses? Because look at how sheer. Like there's just a little bit of milky color to this, but not much. Texture of it feels really good though. Nice bit of thickness. The scent, oh man, does that remind me of a scent I've smelled before. It reminds me of the smell of like a plasticky toy. Cherry Mary Muffin or something like that. There were dolls that like flipped over and they looked like cupcakes. Like they would transform their dress into a cupcake or down like a dress. They had a scent, a very artificial kind of sweet scent, and that's sort of what I'm getting off of this. That's the weirdest description ever. I'm waiting for the tingle. There's almost like a buzz type of feel that comes off of this one. It's not like the Buxom glosses where they just have this cooling feeling. This just slowly, and it's totally coming on me now. It feels like it's coming from within the lips outward. Are they plumping? Are they getting plumper? They might be. They're tingling. You feel surprised to look at your lips in the mirror and see like, are my lips standing still right now? Because there's all kinds of activity going on in there from what I can feel. Is it plumping? I don't know. It might be plumping a little bit. I'm gonna take it off for now so we can try on some other things. And it's off and it's still tingling. I got a couple lip liners here from Essence. They are the soft contouring lip liner. I mean, they're basically just standard lip pencils. I don't know if the lip contour thing is just kind of a trend, but this softer colored one is called Big Proposal, and then I have Going Steady. And I thought these looked beautiful, beautiful colors to wear. I'm just gonna go ahead and fill in basically all over with the Big Proposal shade. See, isn't that just a pretty color all over the lips just in general? And then I'm going to take, going steady, it's a little bit deeper berry, and kind of just go outside inward a little bit with that. I like those lip pencils a lot, even with nothing else added. And you know what? I think that Sexy Mother Pucker actually did plump my lips, because going over them now, they seem different. They seem a little fuller than usual. And then I got these two products from Essence. One is the Shine 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 Wet Look Lip Gloss. This is just a standard gloss. Like, it applies with, you know, a little bit of thickness, a lot of shine. It's a really nice natural color. The color is called Happiness in a bottle, and so that one's good. This one, called Water Kiss Glossy Lip Color. This I may like in a lighter shade. I have this in Aquatic Chic, and this is interesting because it's so thin. Like, you honestly feel like you're putting on like a super thin watery liquid lipstick, but it never sets. So it's meant to have that shine and that kind of movability of a gloss. But being as dark and plummy as it is, I'm kind of uncomfortable wearing a shade that feels so thin and liquidy, you know, on my lips like that. So maybe in a lighter color that might work for me, but for now I think I'm going to take the Shine Shine Shine, and I'll just put this on top of these liners. This smells really good too, just kind of lightly sweet. And this color, by the way, is pretty opaque, even like not putting it over lip liners. You wouldn't have to do that to develop this color. I feel like I got one little end of my lash that's sort of spiking out, but I promise it's all laid down on my lash line there. So guys, what do you think about the overall look? I mean, did we try some hits and misses today, or what? I mean, I definitely tried some things that I did not think were worth it. I tried some new things that I really, really loved. I just want to go back through and discuss a little bit and show you what else was in this Ulta Beauty box in case you're interested. It was $19.99, and they also have a clay mask, a detoxifying charcoal mask there. And underneath that, there's a little coupon here for $5 off any Ulta Beauty collection purchase of $20 or more. I have tried and enjoyed so many Ulta Beauty masks, so I'm excited to try that. I think that's great to have in there. There's a sweet grapefruit bath fizz, which I've obviously not yet used. You saw the mascara, the gloss, the highlight. There's a little individual shadow, which I was playing with yesterday. It's in the shade Whatevs, and it feels really nice. A very creamy, shimmery highlight would be great to just pair in with any palette where you felt like it was lacking that sort of a shade. It's really a nice texture. And they give you a travel size coconut cream moisturizing body lotion. Fun fact, I actually already have the full size of this in that scent, coconut cream. I have the body spray too. I heard Mally talking about it like a long time ago. It's a great coconut scent. Just a nice kind of lightweight body lotion. You know, it's not as thick as a body butter, but it smells awesome. I love using it in spring or summer, and it's nice to have a small size of that. But all in all, I feel like this collection of Ulta things was pretty darn good. The other Ulta thing was the full coverage concealer. That was a no-go for me. Like, it's just not enough coverage, basically. And even building it up, I just wasn't that happy with it. The foundation, the Essence Fresh and Fit, just okay for me, dog. Like, I want a little more coverage, and if it's not gonna give me that coverage, I want it to look like just beautifully radiant or something like that. And even though this wears well, I'm just not a big fan. Huge miss for me was the Essence Super Last Eyeliner, but I did like the lip liners. These soft contouring lip liners were very pretty shades. The Shine 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 gloss is what I ended up putting on top. The Water Kiss, again, very unusual texture for something that's just a gloss because it kind of feels liquid lipstick. Sticky. This Japanesque powder, the Kumadori luminescent powder, was just like okay, but not worth the $32. Soap and Glory stuff, the Mighty Contour, a really cute compact design here. I thought it was a very effective like trio of cream products. I don't have as much experience with the little highlighter in here, but the blush was really nice, and so was the bronzer contour shade. With the lip plumper, the Sexy Mother Pucker, I just wish there was more color to it. Like, I'd like to know if there are any shades in this line that are more opaque, because I do like what it did for the lips, and I found found the tingle to be interesting. It was intense, but it wasn't painful, you know what I'm saying? But in my opinion, I think the big winner of this look was Pacifica. I mean, the biggest surprises here, I felt like. The Happy Essence, this is totally gonna be in my rotation of like setting sprays, refreshing mists. I think that's great. I love their lip balms, the banana and the watermelon. They make a really nice mattifying powder here that wears very well. You know how some powders you feel like just kind of cling onto your foundation, and there's sometimes kind of a chunkiness to the wear down, you know? This, I think, helped things wear very evenly. And this all-in-one palette that was kind of rediscovered from my collection. In fact, I'm gonna take some of that blush. I'm just gonna add a little bit of that into my look today, because that's the kind of color I just love. A little bit of bronze, a little bit of rust in that shade. So pretty. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you'd like to see more of this kind of video, or you have any requests for a future video like this, let me know. It might be fun to do this kind of thing with brands at Sephora. I don't know, maybe Target, really any retailer that is selling brands that you feel like are just somewhat unknown. I want to know about them. I want to talk about them. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.